What's up, good? What's going on, good people? I have a nice little talk today. Throw a little bit of information out there, kind of clarify a few things, and bring a few people in on what we've been up to, what we're planning on doing. We literally have about a little over 30 days before this thing really kicks off. If you got any debts or whatever, you better get rid of that stuff. Like this is the time for you to hurry up and get rid of that debt, because and I'm not even talking about coming to me for assistance and all. You better figure out how to get rid of that debt. Whether you're coming to me or you're not coming to me, whether you're going to somebody else or whatever you're doing, you need to get it from under that debt. You better find out a quick way. You got about 30 plus days to do that. Also to get your status corrected. It's getting really horrific. For those of you who saw the post that I put up, House Resolution 5404, they're pushing the good. They're really they already got it written. So if they got it written, then they're very serious about doing that, which is going back to the gold standard. You know what I mean? I wanted to share with the people a little bit of some information that I came across. It's nothing short than genius. But anyway, we want to discuss the dollar sign. And to some people, that's the dollar sign. It's a dollar sign. Dollar sign is a dollar sign. It's nothing. Well, here's the problem. The dollar sign, the original, or the real, actual U.S. dollar sign, is a S with two lines through it. Look at your bills. Look at the bills that they're sending you. On those bills, they're not sending you a S with two lines through it. What they're sending you is a S with one line through it. What does that mean? What is that? And again, as we always do, we always tell you, don't just take our word for it. Go back and do the research. Go back and see for yourself. The S with one line through it, that is for pesos. That's for pesos, people. That is for pesos. Now, as of recent times, they have been adopting it for the U.S. dollar. But the thing is, when they're sending us the bill, they're not sending us a bill saying, send me the U.S. dollar. They're just saying that this is the amount that you owe. So what are they doing in effect? What they're doing is they're leaving it up to you as to what denominational currency you want to pay them in. Because the law says that no one can, because the United States is bankrupt, they cannot demand a specific species of currency. They cannot demand a specific species of currency. So if you decide to go and send them pesos, because that is legitimately by the law, and the law is literal. You have to keep that in mind. The law is literal. So if you send them pesos, you haven't gone against the contract. You haven't violated anything. You're actually in line with what they're asking for. You did not articulate what species of currency you wanted me to pay you in, so I'm going to send you pesos. And what's the ratio? It's 10 to 1. So like a $1,000 bill, you probably send them maybe $100, $10, something like that. 10 to 1. So yeah, send them $100. You got $1,000 bill paid off. And then you can cite the laws for them, showing them, you can cite your evidence showing that, yeah, pesos is a single S with a line through it. And it's valid. It's valid. All right, I know some of you guys are like, oh, shoot, the lights just came on. Also, keep in mind, when Trump merged the Treasury with the IRS, and they also merged, a number of us didn't catch that one, but they also merged they're merging the currencies. one world government, that one world currency. So they're merging the currencies and they're starting to share the same symbols. A lot of countries are starting to share the same symbols for the dollar sign or what have you. You know, politicians, they say it all the time. The laws are for the little people. The laws are for the little people. Why? Because the little people will not read. They will not read. They will not think outside of the box. And, you know, everybody stays in a nice little neat space. But you tell me, anyone who has met with great success in life that stayed within the lines. No one, no great person, no person of great mind ever stayed within the lines. Because if you read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you got to take risks. If you're going to be successful in anything, you always will have to take a risk. And if you're not willing to take a risk, then, you know, as we always like to tell these guys, you know, who don't want to study and whatever, just go lay down, go to sleep. It's good. Enjoy the ride. And, you know, when the hammer comes down, you will absolutely realize what's going on, what's been going on. It's not going to be pretty, folks. It's really not. I mean, and I put up a post the other day. I got a lot, you know, there's a lot of likes and, you know, laughs and stuff like that. You know, I mean, it's really not funny. I mean, the people that were laughing, I understand. They already understand for the most part. I'm assuming that they already understand what's going on. And they're not necessarily laughing because it's funny and it's something to take lightly. They're laughing because it's a real sad situation. And we wish that people would start waking up and realizing what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Politics, no politics, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. What matters is, do you have your status corrected? Because again, Wheeling Steel Corporation versus Fox, that is a Supreme Court case. That is one out of like 30 or 40 of them. There's a whole bunch of them. Where the Supreme Court justices, and you have to remember, and a lot of us are totally removed from how the law operates or how the separation of powers operate. But again, these Supreme Court judges, they are ruling on constitutional issues. Issues pertaining to treaties and stuff like that. That's what the Supreme Court rules on. All right? These courts, your district court, your local Supreme Court and all of that, those are not constitutional courts. They're not ruling on constitutional issues. They're ruling on policies. And guess what? If you're ruling on a policy, you're ruling on a policy. You're not ruling on law. That's not a law. It's a policy. It's no different than if you walked into Walmart, Kmart, Home Depot, Lowe's. They have policies in place. For somebody who just walked into that store, those policies may not necessarily apply to you. Does that now stop you from being a patron of the store? No. Those policies are put in place mainly for their employees. Mainly for their employees. Policies. They cannot call their policies law. Although, the policies that you see floating around now, again, listen, don't take my word for it. Get any kind of court decision, even if you're on parole. If you're on parole, look at your parole papers and see what it says. It says administrative process. That's what it says. Literally, it says it on the paper. It says it was done by administrative process. If it was done by administrative process, then that means there was no law involved in that. It was policy. Because policies get adjudicated administratively. Policies get adjudicated administratively. You cannot do an administrative process over law. Please understand this, people. Please understand what you're in. Please understand what you're walking into. Yeah, you know, yeah. It's because really, I mean, Halima, you know, it's really that serious. Because we're about to walk into something really crazy. I mean, really crazy. And people really don't have a clue. And it's like, it's a lot of stuff to articulate. It's like a lot of stuff to articulate. And if you don't have like at least a fundamental understanding of law, you know what I'm saying, of the Constitution, like 90%, I say, listen, in the groups, these people that are in groups, 90% of the people that are in these groups haven't even read the Constitution. They don't even know the wording of the Constitution. All they know is what everybody else is saying about the Constitution. That's all they know. And a lot of the stuff that people are saying about the Constitution is actually it's not even 100% accurate. Most of the time, it's probably about 60, maybe 70% accurate. It's not the actual wording of the Constitution. And if you read the Constitution, they wrote it for the purpose or for the benefit of the average man or woman to understand it. So they can just pick it up, read it, understand it, and know exactly what's going on. It is not complicated. It is not like picking up a law book and having to read the information out of a law book. See, those law books were written like that intentionally to keep the people from going in and reading them and understanding what they're saying. That was done intentionally. The Constitution was written for the average common man. Why? Because it was put in place to protect the rights of the average common man and woman. We have to understand it. We really have to get an understanding of what that Constitution is talking about. We have to read it. And you can literally get a free copy of the Constitution. It costs you absolutely nothing. They will send it to you for free. For free. And you will have a Constitution in your hands. They even have pocket-sized, wallet-sized constitutions. They have wallet-sized constitutions. You can just go on and get you a nice little constitution and, you have it in your wallet. You can read it whenever you need. But the bottom line is this. If we're not going to pick it up and read it, if we're not going to, understand, we're talking about, the Constitution, we go in the courtroom and we're screaming, the Constitution, my constitutional rights, which has the Constitution doesn't give anybody any rights. It gives no one rights. What it does is it protects the rights that you already have, the rights that God gave you. We all have rights that God has given us. The Constitution protects them. It makes sure that the public servants, the lawyers, the judges, the police officers, all these individuals, they stay in line. That's the purpose of the Constitution. That's why it was written. All right? It was not put in place to give you anything except a protection against would-be individuals who would like to take away your rights from you. And for you people, all this conspiracy theorists and all this other stuff, well, I guess the founding fathers were also conspiracy theorists when they wrote the Constitution. Why would they write the Constitution if there was no conspiracy theorists? If there were no people out there, there was no one out there trying to actually usurp the power from the people. Why would they ever put a Constitution together if that was not the case? And why would they formulate the Constitution in the way in which they did it? Separation of powers. The judicial cannot go into the administrative. Judicial, administrative, two different. You can't mix the two. So if you are on parole or on probation or you're in custody, read your paperwork. It literally says that it was done by administrative proceedings. You were not prosecuted under the Constitution. Administrative, judicial, those are two different sections of the government. And they cannot be mixed. So what are you doing in jail under an administrative process if you think you're in the jail under the Constitution? Come on, people, open your eyes, wake up. How many examples do we got to give you? It's time to wake up, people. It's really time to wake up. And we have individuals that, they study this information, and we try to steer clear of these guys. What they do is they study this information, and then they want to beat on you. They want to beat you, and they want to beat it into you. You can't do that. That's not the approach either. Because the truth doesn't need your emotion. It doesn't. The truth does not need anyone's emotion to support it or to establish it. All the truth needs is for you to articulate it. Just put it out there. The truth will take care of itself. For an example, I'm in this vehicle right now, and the sun is out. Someone comes over here, man, you know what you're talking about. The sun is not out. Or somebody comes up on this post right now, and they start texting to me, the sun is not out. It's not real. You gonna sit there and argue with this guy? Come on. At some point, we have to decide when we're going to do our own study and understand what is going on around us, what has been going on. And so, that history stuff, I'm out of here, I don't care. Listen, history repeats itself. History repeats itself. Another evidence for you. These people have tried to take over this country many times. England tried to take over this country many times. And guess what? They did. How did they do it? They said, we can't get them on the battlefield, so what we'll do is we'll beat them up on paper. That's what they did. They created they sent the bankers over here, right? Masters with paperwork. They sent the judges over here, masters with paperwork. They sent the attorneys over here, masters with paperwork. Right? And then, they incorporate the post office. They are handling the paperwork. They're getting the paperwork to different parties. Come on. My goodness, people, please. If you don't open your eyes now, by the time your eyes are forced open by the same people that are putting this plan in place, it's going to be too late. Because when they force your eyes open, it's only to make you suffer more in what they're going to do to you, or what they're going to already be doing to you. Freedoms are being taken away slowly but surely. They're taking your freedoms away. And listen, no one is going to give you anything that's detrimental to your own health, except that they're going to give you a very good reason as to why you should take it. McDonald's, they make those sandwiches look delicious. Ooh, they make it mouth-watering. But you go and eat that stuff, and you see what's the end result of that. Keep on eating that. You already know, everybody knows McDonald's is no good for you. But what do we say? I don't care, it just tastes good. Or I don't care, the kids want it. Okay, well, poison can be made to taste delicious. You know what I mean? Poison can be made to taste delicious. You gotta, listen, man. Wake up and realize your status correction is tantamount. It is tantamount. Right now, it is tantamount. I'm not going to take that vaccine. They're not going to make me take it. And you ain't got nothing in place to defend yourself if they come and put pressure on you talking about you better take it. If you are a U.S. citizen, if you've been putting on all kind of applications that you're a U.S. citizen, then you are admitting time after time after time. This is exactly what they're doing. This is the plan. Time after time, you're constantly saying, I am somebody's property. I am someone's property. I am someone's property. You're someone's property every time you do that. So now you got all these contracts saying that you are a U.S. citizen, you're somebody's property, and now they're gonna come to you and they're gonna rub it in your face. Oh, I don't have to take the vaccine, and they're gonna take that thing and rub it all in your face, grind it in your freaking nose. They're gonna grind it in your nose. I don't have to take that medicine. They strap you down and they put that medicine in you. They strap you down and they put that medicine in you. You ain't got a choice. Why? Because you're property. You've been saying you've been property all this time. Now all of a sudden, it's something that you don't like. Now you don't want to be property no more. But guess what? You didn't put any documents in place to counteract all those contracts that you were putting in place before the situation occurred. You got to undo all of that stuff. All them contracts, you got to rebut all those contracts. That's what the law requires. That's what the law requires, not policy. The law, and the law overrides policy. People, the law overrides policy. So, in order for you to get up from underneath that title of being somebody's property, you have to then implement the law, which is you have to rebut the presumptions. Because in their jurisdiction, with their policies and procedures, they can presume and assume that you are playing their game. But you have to rebut it. And if you do not rebut it, then their presumptions, their assumptions, they're assuming becomes actual fact on you. Because you have not rebutted it. For an example, I'll give you an example. You're walking down the block. You're going to work, or you're coming from work, or you're going wherever you're going. And a guy walks up to you and says, hey, you owe me $5,000. You owe me $5,000. What you gonna say to him? You gonna just be quiet? I'm just gonna keep on walking. This guy don't really know what he's talking about. I'm just gonna keep on walking. And this guy is standing in front of you. They're not letting you walk past him. this is just a little wisdom for you guys, okay? Like you guys, oh, they're killing black men. You know, we already covered the part with the black men, right? Calling yourself a color. You can't call yourself a color because a color is a thing. It's not a human being. A color is a thing. It's not a human being. So if they're killing colors in the street, then they're killing nothing. You can't file it. You can't get a case. You're not going to get a valid case on a police officer who killed nothing. Who killed a color. He killed a thing. That's why these cases are not sticking. That's one reason why they're not sticking. Another reason why they're not sticking is because they're trying to sue them as a police officer. And all they're going to do is hide behind their role as a fiduciary trustee or a trustee over their responsibility, delegated responsibility as being officers or whatever. So they have a duty to fulfill, and they have immunity under the law insofar or in so much as they are operating within their capacity. So they're acting like a police officer. You twitched, a little too quick or a little too long, and they felt threatened and they killed you. They have immunity. You don't sue the police officer. You sue the man. You get the man's name, and you go after him. That's who you sue, not the police officer. That's why these cases ain't sticking. I hope your eyes are opening up a little bit. You don't sue the police officer because they're gonna hide behind the badge. Oh, I was performing my official duties. I blew his head off. That piece of color, that blackness, it came out of the shadows, and I was afraid, so I blew his head off. No, you go after him. You name him. You put his name on it. And you put liens on these cats. You go do that UCC1 financing statement, and you start putting liens on these cats. And watch the results. You get different results. You start seeing different things happening. Get that, go get that oath of office and look at all the flaws in that oath of office. Which makes, if it's got the flaws in it, if it ain't properly done, it's invalid. You can go after him as a private person now because his oath of office is an evidence that he's not properly recorded as being who he says he is. He's pretending to be a police officer. He's pretending to be an official. He's not authorized to be in that position. So now you go after him as an individual for committing an act of fraud. He's masquerading as a police officer. He's not real. So you go after him. Right? You do a citizen's arrest on paper. Go and get him. Dig into his pockets. Hurt him. That's what you do. You dig into his pockets and you hurt him. That's how you hurt them. All right? So, public servants, or rather, American nationals, stop putting on these applications that you're a U.S. citizen. What you should be putting on these applications, you could put indigenous, you can put other, and then write American national. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? There's a number of ways you can work it out. You know what I'm saying? You stop putting U.S. citizen on these applications, man. Seriously, stop doing that. Stop doing that. Stop making yourself a slave. Stop making yourself a slave. You have to articulate. I'm in Brooklyn right now, folks, just so y'all know. And these streets is horrific. Yes, who's that?
Imani.
Who's calling me? Imani's calling me? What's going on, Imani? Talk to me.
She says she's hungry.
Oh, you hungry? Okay, we're gonna stop to get some food. We're going downtown right now.
I'm hungry too.
Alright, let's go get something to eat, inshallah. Alright, I was just talking to my man Marcus today. I was telling him, you know what I'm saying, we about to you gotta get your UCC1, you gotta do your EINs, man. And you got, there's a couple of steps that need to be taken care of. You gotta suspend that SSN number. Gotta, some of you, I got a job and, it's a good job, paying well. Okay, all right. Listen, I'm gonna share something with you people also about that, okay? I'm not saying quit your job. I'm not telling you that. I'm not telling you to quit your job. But what I am telling you is to realize what you're doing, all right? The people have been lined up. They have been putting this system into effect for a very long time, and they've been passing the information down generationally. They've been passing it down through their children. Generationally, they've been passing it down, this information, this process. All right? We don't think like the Indians used to think. These people have learned quite a few things from the Indians. So Thanksgiving just passed. It was, Thanksgiving, they taught us how to plant foods and grow our plants and how to, eat from the land and stuff like that. They took that information, but they also took other information from the Indians. One other bit of information that they took from the Indians was the Indians literally, when they would make a decision on something, they would look into the future, about 4 to 5 generations into the future, and to look and see how it would affect those generations 4 to 5 generations ahead. They adopted that from the Indians as well. So this information that we're telling you guys about, you guys, a lot of people are they're looking at the here and now. Right now, what can I get right now? Oh, how can I make some money right now? How can I live a better life right now? No sacrifice. No sacrifice. I want immediate gratification right now. I want what I want right now. And that's exactly what they put into the society. That's exactly what they put in every commercial. That's exactly what they put in every song. That's exactly what they put in every cartoon. They keep feeding it to you. And you're eating it. You're taking those TV, you're sitting in front of the TV all day. You're taking that information in. You're literally being spoon-fed every single day a specific thought process. A specific type of thought process. And no, a person who's robbing you is not going to come and tell you, hey, I'm robbing you, and this is how I'm robbing you. So you got to be smart, man. You got to be smart on how you're moving. You have to be thinking 3, 4 to 5 generations ahead. You cannot be thinking of you here right now. You have to be thinking about your children, your children's children, and their children as well. You should be buying gold and silver. And I don't even work at that company anymore. Okay, people? And I'm still talking. I was talking it before I went to that company. I left that company, and I'm still talking. You better go get some gold and silver and stop playing. Stop playing. It's not a joke, people. These people mean business. They mean what they're doing. They are going to stick the needles in you. They're going to stick the needles in your kids, man. This is not a joke. It's not a joke. They're not playing with you. And I'm telling you, it's going to be horrific when you see it, because you will not be able to get out of it. You will not be able to tell them, no, I'm not taking it. I put up the video. Governor Cuomo said, listen, we're gonna send the military in to make these people take these. We're gonna send it. They're telling you to your face. They're telling you right to your face. And you know what they're also telling you? You're a freaking dummy. You're a full idiot. Because we're gonna stick this stuff in you, and you're gonna take it, and you're gonna like it. And those of you who don't like it, if you ain't got your status corrected, we're going to take you, strap you down, or we're going to put you in a concentration camp, a.k.a. a FEMA camp, for your own good, until you take it. Now, think about this. I'm in here, I'm not taking it. Forget about that, I'm not taking it. Concentration camp, people. Them FEMA camps,
26.
them FEMA camps. You better do some research. You better Google. Google's still your friend. You better Google what those FEMA camps got. They got gas chambers in there, by the way. In case you didn't know. They got them. I saw it. I did the research.
I see a green car.
Go and do your own research so you can see for yourself. So you can just stop taking people's words for it. Go and do your own research.
Taxi car.
You know what I'm saying? Go do your own research so you'll be able to have a solid foundation to stand on, and you'll know what to do when you don't find yourself coming on these videos of different individuals, not even my videos, but other individuals, and then you're typing in, who do we do? If you're asking that question, that means you're not studying. Because if you're studying, you'll see the solution. Shoot, here's one solution. I just got this in the mail today. I know this backwards, so some of you people have to read backwards. You just got to read backwards. The book, they sent me the book for free. All I had to do was pay for shipping and handling. I bought 2 of them joints. Let me get 2 of them. Let me get 2. I get 2 of them joints. And you know, if you saw my other videos, you saw me mask. They're guessing. You don't know what guessing looks like? You know what somebody looks like when they're guessing? They're guessing. And you're sucking it up. Oh my God. I went to the store the other day. I went to the store. There was Dollar Tree. Right? Went into the Dollar Tree. I went over there, and one of the guys in the store, he's like an assistant manager or whatever. I come in the store, and everybody knows, I put the mask on, but I don't put it over my nose because I don't want to breathe in carbon dioxide. I don't want to breathe in carbon dioxide throughout the day. I'd much rather breathe in oxygen. All right? Now, is the coronavirus a hoax? Can't call it a hoax because it's actually a organism that actually is real. It's real. It is real. All right? But is it doing the damage that they're saying it's doing? As far, there's millions and millions and millions of people dying. Listen, we mentioned this in other videos, man. How many people has died this year from the flu? Because we know that, statistics show anywhere between 80 and 180,000 people die every year from the flu. Sometimes a million. From the flu. From the flu, people. Funny, this year, even though we're in flu season, nobody's died from the flu yet. Nobody has died from the flu yet this year. Everybody's COVID. Everybody died from COVID. Nobody's died from strokes. Nobody's died from stroke this year. It's COVID. COVID's killing them. Come on, man. Yes, there are people dying from COVID. That's a fact. But they're hyping the numbers up. Keep those masks on. Keep those masks on. Keep breathing in that carbon monoxide. Compromising your respiratory system. Anybody who knows anybody who has CPAP, those are the oxygen masks they put on, they breathe and stuff like that, right? They have to clean those masks out. That's pure oxygen going in there. But every time you exhale, you're putting carbon monoxide, you're putting all kind of bacteria in there and everything. And you got this mask on your face with no oxygen coming in. They got pure oxygen coming through that mask. And still they got to clean that thing out because they'll end up with a respiratory infection. If they don't clean it out, even though they got pure oxygen coming in. You're walking around with this mask on your face all day. Talking, spitting all in it. That's bacteria. It's all kind of crazy and the mouth is the nastiest place in the body. You got the worst place. Distributing, all kind of stuff into that mask that you breathe. You're breathing all that stuff in. Come on, man. So now, when you do get like a flu or something like that, your what do you call it? Your immune system is so compromised. It's so compromised you couldn't even fight off the common cold. And guess what? They have the coronavirus recorded as the common cold. So everybody's got it. It's already in your body. So now all you need is something else to aggravate it, and then they'll say, yeah, well, coronavirus killed them. It's already in you. All right, so with that said, what do? Right? We don't want to just talk about a problem. We want to talk about solutions. For those of you, and listen, we're down to the wire on this one, all right? So I'm just letting you know, man, some of this stuff, some of you people just will not be able to do. You won't have enough time to do it. Seriously. Some of us are going to literally, because we're coming into this thing so late, we're going to have to take drastic measures. All right? So some of you who have not authenticated your certificate of live birth, not your birth certificate. You need to get your certificate of live birth and authenticate that. You need to get your certificate of live birth and authenticate that. For those of you who've already done that, congratulations, very good. All right, you want to take it. When you get it from the town hall. For those of you who have a town hall, other states, other areas, they may call it a different building, but it's a place where you get your birth certificates. The same place that you get your birth certificate is the same place that you get your certificate of live birth. They are two different documents. Okay, now that certificate of live birth, that thing comes in 3 different forms. All right. One, it'll be in handwriting, actual handwriting. Mine's is in actual handwriting. Then you have the other one, which is in type. It's typed out. It's all the same information, but it's all typed out and it's on a piece of paper, okay? They're all going to be on a piece of paper, but the second one is going to be typed out, all right? No ridges around it. No ridges going around it. And then you have the third one. It looks very similar to the birth certificate, except that it has all the additional extra information on it, which makes it a long form. All right? The one with the ridges around it is the one that they are monetizing. They're monetizing that one. That's why the ridges are around it, just like a dollar bill. All right? Yahamakullah. Okay. So those are the three forms that you will find your certificate of live birth. Okay? But you want to authenticate that thing all the way up to the Secretary of State. The Secretary of State meaning the Secretary of the United States of America. I'm trying to think of, I think it's Jeff Sessions, I believe it is. Jeff Sessions. One of them guys. But anyway, mine was done, John Kerry was the Secretary of State. I have his signature on mine. I have two of them done. So you want to do the Certificate of Live Birth. You want to authenticate that all the way up. The birth certificate is a self-authenticating document. You don't need to authenticate it. It's a receipt. That's what it is. It's just a receipt. So what you want to do is you want to take that receipt and you want to accept it for its value. Now, give an example. And I've talked to a few people about the situation. Just to show you how the birth certificate operates. Okay. Your children, you have a child. You didn't claim them in the hospital. So what did you do? You left the receipt back. You left it behind. You didn't claim it. You didn't claim your receipt. All right? So because you didn't claim your receipt, child support, CPS, or they got different names for them in other states where, people report against you not treating your children right, and then they come in and take your children. Whatever agency they have in your state, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the same agency, they just have different names in different states. So in New York, in this area, it's CPS, Child Protective Service. So that's how they can come and take your children. Why? Because you left the receipt at the hospital. At the hospital, they made an announcement. Such and such child was born today, and yay! We're celebrating. Hooray! My child was born today, and they're celebrating. They're mentioning it. No, what they're doing is making an announcement. Hey, somebody left their receipt. You got to come back and claim your receipt. Now, let me show you. Your television. You got a television in your house, right? I don't have any televisions in my house. I don't want any televisions. I used to have a 75-inch. I gave it to my partner. I told him, man, do some work on my car, and I'll give you the TV. He put it inside of his shop. There's no TV in my house. No TV in my house. The information that we're going to get is research information. You want to be entertained? We will entertain one another. Hold on. I got my man calling in. I'm not answering that right now, though. I ain't answering that call. So you didn't claim the receipt. When you get a TV, you buy a radio, or you buy a couch set, or whatever the situation is, you get the receipt. You have the receipt. You have the evidence that you purchased that thing. You have all rights and control over that thing. Why? Because you are the holder in due course. You have the instrument. All right? When you left the hospital, you left without your receipt. So you have no evidence that that child is yours. That child is your property. So they can come in and take your child. They can come in and take your child. Why is it that when you buy a television or a radio or a couch set or whatever, nobody can come in your house and take it? Because you are the holder in due course. You took your receipt with you. You took the receipt with you. And anytime you want to cash it in, you could go and cash it in. It's your property. You have evidence of it. Okay? So now when you get the birth certificate, what do? You take it, you accept it for its value, and you send it to the bank. What bank do you send it to? The Treasury. I want to share something with you people real briefly, all right? Because we about to park up. We about to park up, and do a little walking around. But just to share with you, 1917 they created the Trading with the Enemies Act. They created the Trading with the Enemies Act, 1917. Just to give you a brief understanding of what they were talking about in that Trading with the Enemies Act, it was saying that any American, not U.S. citizen, any American citizen. And you could be a citizen of America. That doesn't make you property. It said U.S. citizen, not America citizen. American citizen. It said any American citizen who does business with a foreign company, business, agency, entity has forfeited their citizenship. You have forfeited your citizenship by doing business with any foreign entity. Now I want to share something with you people real quick. Is the United States a part of America? No, it's not. It is a company. It has a Dun and Bradstreet number. It has a number, a corporation number. It has a patent number. U.S., United States, all caps. It is a business. It's a company all day, every day. It's not even a secret anymore. It's not even a secret anymore, people. The people who don't know are the people who just don't want to know. They don't want to do the research. They're refusing to do the research. So that's on you. That is on you. Okay? Anyway, the United States is a company. It is owned by King Henry III. He's the one that started the business. It's his. He owns it. Okay? Now, real briefly, I'm making a turn. So the United States is a corporation. It's a company. It's foreign. All right? That's why it's the original organic Constitution. It says the Constitution of the United States for America. That's the real Constitution. When you see for America, you know you're dealing with the real Constitution. Of America and law of means without. That means they took America out of the equation. All right? So be careful because that Constitution, it does exist. It's a corporate Constitution. It's a commercial jurisdiction. It's a commercial Constitution. So you have to make sure you're reading the right one because in that commercial one, it says that you have inalienable rights. In the original Constitution, it says unalienable rights. And let's break the word up. Unalienable rights. That means they can't put a lien on your rights. In the commercial Constitution, it says inalienable rights. That means you are in a lienable state. Your rights are in a lienable state. So they can put liens on your rights. That means you got privileges. That's the commercial jurisdiction. Know what you're in, people. Understand what you're dealing with. Okay? So, 1917, Trading with the Enemies Act. If you do business with a foreign entity, you have forfeited your American citizenship. I'm showing you how they keep bringing you into that United States corporation or that United States property. I'm going to show you how they keep doing it. In order to start a business in the United States, in order to start a business in the United States, you have to register your business. You have to register your business. Once you register your business, whose jurisdiction does it fall under? Who are you registering it with? The United States. You just made your business a foreign entity. You just made your business a foreign entity by registering your business in the United States. It's a foreign entity. Okay? So now, when you go down to Walmart and you spend your money with Walmart, you're committing an act of treason. Because Walmart, once they register, they become a part of the United States. They're a foreign entity. You're committing treason. According to the Trading with the Enemies Act. And it's still in the books. It's still valid. Nobody canceled it out. It's still legitimate. So every single time you go to these stores and you make these purchases, and you're giving them your address, you're giving them your phone number, you're giving them all the information about you, you're creating a solid argument against you that you are a United States citizen, or at the very least, you are a non-citizen to any nation. You are a non-citizen to any nation. No nation is claiming you. And that's how they can kill you, black people, in the streets. And no nation ever comes to your aid. Think about this. Why do they separate the neighborhoods? Why do you go, like, I'm in Brooklyn right now, right? This area right here, you got the Jews to one side, you got the Jamaican and Caribbean people to one side, you got the Spanish to the other side. They got sections, they got the stuff all sectioned off. Why? So they know who they going at. You don't hear them killing the Jamaicans, man. And please, Jamaica. because they go into certain neighborhoods and they do that stuff. See, the Jamaicans have a nation that's behind them. See, and if they kill a person who is a national of another nation, that is an act of war. It is an act of war. So they're not going into the Jamaican neighborhoods and just gunning them down. They're going into the neighborhoods of the people who have no clue of who they are. And they gun you down with impunity because you're going to keep calling yourself black, you genius. You're going to keep calling yourself a color. There's no such thing as a nation that's a color. Ain't no yellow nation. Even if you call the Indians, and I mentioned this in other videos, even if you call an Indian a red man, he's going to take offense to that. He's not going to let you get away with that. He's not going to let you get away with that. He don't want you calling him no red man. He wants you calling him by his nationality. All right? So you running around calling yourself a color, you keep doing that. You keep on doing that, and you accept your fate. Because you're making a choice. And you got people telling you, stop doing that. Stop doing it. And you keep doing it. And then you want to complain about your condition. You're killing yourself. Blame it on yourself. You're doing it to yourself. Because we're telling you, stop doing that. Claim your nationality. You're an American national. And you put that down on the paperwork until this nonsense stops. Because as an American national, you can then file charges against these people because they're committing international crimes because Public Law 75-583, Title 22, subsection 611 through 617, they are foreign agents. It's right there in front of you, people. Look it up. They are foreign agents. They're here to make money. They came to America to make money. The United States and its agents are here to make money on American soil. That's what they came here for. They are foreign agents. What I just quoted to you, public law, it's foreign agent registration statement. Foreign agent registration statement. So they have to register as a foreign agent. Now, ask a police officer if he did that. Ask a judge if he did that. Ask a prosecutor or an attorney if they did that. But the law says, and I'm going to quote it to you, all public servants, not some, not most, not a few, all public servants must register in the office of the Attorney General prior to taking their position in office. Before they take their position, before they start working, they must file that. And if they don't, then they are not properly or correctly, they're actually fraudulently taking these positions. We have gotten many cases closed down just by submitting an affidavit telling them we demand from them their foreign agent registration statement. All of a sudden, postponement, all of a sudden, case dismissed. And you people talking about conspiracy theorists. You guys are conspiracy theorists. Show us some evidence that the cases, that you guys got the cases dismissed. Show us in writing. Right. Show you in writing. Show you in writing. I got text messages where individuals, yo, man, thank you, man. Thank you. I submit, matter of fact, my man Anthony Darden, if you on here, bro, put you know what I'm saying, put a little something up, bro. Let the people know. What did they do? We sent that affidavit of improper jurisdiction and venue. What did they do? Postponed it so they can get all their paperwork right. They gotta straighten everything back out again. They messed up. Oh man, the jig is up, y'all. They gotta straighten out their paperwork. And then what happened after that? The very next text that I got from him was, yo, they dismissed the case. And I'll post that up. Matter of fact, after I finish making the video, I'm gonna post up the message in the comment section of this video so you can see for yourself. All right? And there's other situations, other individuals. Okay? So it's real, people. It's real. It's real. Okay? Not a joke. They are foreign agents. Okay? They came here to make money. All right? And as Benjamin Franklin said, if you don't know your rights, then you don't have any. If you do not know your rights, then you do not have any. Yep, Naima Bey. If you submit the correct documents, you ain't even gotta go in, period. beneficiary. That's it. And just go back to quiet. Do I have standing to speak? Do I have standing to speak? Speak. Pay the beneficiary. Sit back down. Your documents are already in place. You ain't got to say nothing. If you go in. Look, I made videos of me in the courthouse. You know what I mean? It's not like you people are, it's not like it's something that's impossible for you to see. I've already done it. You've seen the videos. That's why I did what I did. Because people don't believe this stuff, man. They don't believe it. They'll see it. They see my videos and still don't believe it. They see my videos and still don't believe it. Hold on a second. I'm halfway turned. Yes. I gotta get my car straightened out. Hold on. Sorry, folks. My conveyance. let me get it right. For those who, for those of you who are very meticulous in your speech, and you like to critique people that say things, you can't speak in a way that the people will understand. Sometimes people, when you're teaching, you have to speak in the language that the people that you're talking to will understand. And you have to realize that everyone isn't on your level. You got to keep that in mind, okay? So sometimes you got to speak in common parlance. You know what I mean? You got to speak in common terms that everybody can easily grasp a hold to. You can't always speak technically. You can't always be technical in your speech at all single times in your life because most people just do not know. And they have to learn it. If you're constantly coming with technical speech, you're going to lose your audience every single time. That's why a lot of you guys get frustrated. People don't believe what you're talking. They don't believe or accept what you're talking about because you won't lower yourself. I'm going to stay up here in these clouds and I'm going to talk to you like God. I'm going to talk down on you. Come on, man. You're not getting anybody to get on board with that kind of talk. Nobody's going to accept that stuff. It's too high, man. I can't reach it. It's like telling a guy who was 4'11" to slam dunk a 10-foot slam dunk on a 10-foot rim. You gotta be reasonable, rational, understand your audience. That's the first step of teaching. Understand your audience, understand their level of intellect, and then if you gotta come down, you come down. If you come down, then you can bring them up with you. But if you're talking down on people, you guys are stupid. You're dummies. You don't get it. You're going to totally lose your audience. You're going to lose your audience. All right? You're going to lose your audience. And nobody will be guided by you. No one will be guided by you. Because first step is compassion. You have to be compassionate. You know what I'm saying? You have to feel sorry for the people. You have to feel sorry for them. You know what I'm saying? Because, everybody's not on the same intellectual level. And if you're not giving them an opportunity to learn piece by piece, because I'm telling you, when I first started off, this stuff was straight Japanese. I didn't understand none of this stuff. This stuff was just crazy. It was just bugged out. I'm like, you know what? Nope, I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to stick with it until I understand what's going on. And I stuck with it. And and one day it just clicks. One day it just clicks, man. And it's like, oh, shoot. It's like when Neo was in the hallway and they shot him down and killed him. Right? He had to die in order to realize the reality of what's going on. So in other words, you literally have to kill this intellect, kill this thought process that you thought you understood everything that's going on around you. You got to kill that. You have to die first mentally. And then when you reawaken, you're not looking at people anymore. You're seeing the codes of the matrix right in front of you, and you're able to read all of the codes. You're able to read all the codes and see them for what they really are. But that comes from humbling yourself. Humbling yourself. I know, I've read and I've studied. You're going nowhere with that, man. You're going nowhere with that. You're going to lose your audience.
Daddy,
Yes, ma'am.
I want to go in that store.
You want to go in that store? Okay, we're going to go in a couple of these stores. The only problem is, out here, it's just very difficult to find parking. That's what's going on, folks, by the way. I'm looking for parking, because it's like, in the city, it's just nowhere to park.
Daddy,
Yes.
who's that talking to?
I'm doing a video right now. Yep. So, accept the birth certificate for its value. You can either write on it, or you can get one of those stamps and stamp it. But you need to accept it for value. Get it to the Secretary of the Treasury. Let them know that you're accepting it. Cancel out that Social Security number. Get an EIN number. Cancel out the social and use the EIN number as your social. You know what I'm saying? But you got to get that recorded. You know what I'm saying? You got to get that recorded. The EIN number, you got to get it recognized. You know what I'm saying? Just getting an EIN number does not get it recognized. And if any of you who need help, you know what I'm saying, you can get in touch with me. Hit me up on Messenger. You know what I'm saying? And we'll go.
Don't cancel the Social Security number if you intend to continue to operate within their system. Cancel it if you're trying to get out of their system.